Today on the Charge Up, women's lacrosse continued their winning streak. We'll also take a look at the recent wins of softball and tennis. Finally, we'll break down what happened to baseball in their rough weekend series. It's all coming up on the Charge Up. Hello and welcome to the Charge Up. I'm James Cassidy and with me today is Christy Geronimo, Devin Maida, and Eric Nybro. Women's lacrosse won their game on Friday, 18-11, against conference opponents St. Mike's, increasing their win streak to 4 games. Chris, what is working for this team lately?
Well, right now this team's on a roll with butter. They're licking their chops, they're playing some favorable opponents. Offense is clicking, defense is clicking, and it's overall great team performance right now.
Yeah, talking about that offense, Julie Jett, 7 career points, career high 7 points, and 3 goals and 4 assists in her last game. A great game from her.
Yeah, it's nice to see the offense is spreading around. It's not just Ray all the time. It's everybody's taking part of the party. And Jess Maslia, who had 3 goals and 4 assists, reached her 200 career points, which is pretty cool.
Yeah,
that's a milestone.
They're averaging 20 goals a game on this 4-game winning streak, so that's pretty good coming from what they came from at the beginning of the year when they struggled on offense.
Mm-hmm.
The only one thing that we can sort of get nitpicky with them is who they're playing during this win streak. This week they played Southern New Hampshire, who was 2-11, and St. Mike's, who still doesn't have a win on the season. But other than that, they're still playing great lacrosse.
It's good that they're taking care of business. You have to beat the lesser teams in order to get those win totals up, and then you boost confidence like we've been talking about, and then you can move forward, and with that confidence you can go play anybody.
I agree with Devin on this one, that the confidence that they're building in these couple of games is really going to be a big factor when it comes to any 10 tournament play, which is right around the corner. And who's going to be a player that can really make the difference going through these last couple of games of the season?
I think Mar has a good shot of breaking out because she had 4 goals last game. Also, Kendra Nolan had 3 goals. They've sort of been like prospects, I should say. Like they have the potential to be like main people in this offense, but they haven't really done that so far. But now they're stepping up and they're contributing to this offense.
I think one of the keys is Raven Linton, who last week had the school record 16 draw controls. I think she's going to be really huge because, as we've seen in losses, they struggle in draw controls, but in wins, they really do well.
Yeah, that's the key. If they control the ball, their offense usually is pretty good. They can click. So if they get ahead, control the ball, and then it's going to help their defense. It's going to go hand in hand.
Yeah, one stat about that draw controls is that during the 3-game losing streak at the beginning of the year, they were out-controlled 46-28. But now they're in the 4-game winning streak, they're out-controlling teams 87-44. So it's obviously a big turnaround, and it's contributing to the on the field.
Yeah.
The Chargers will head to Uptown rivals Southern Connecticut State on Tuesday. Chargers softball swept a doubleheader against non-conference opponent NYIT on Thursday. Eric, what do we see from this team?
Hey, I preach it all the time here. Defense wins championships, and the defense was awesome. In that second game against Southern New Hampshire, they turned a triple play, and Tori Sheeby out there in right was the one who had the throw in the home plate. She was excellent back there in right, and she also added 3 hits, so she was great.
Not only that, their defense was playing very well, they're offensively had a nice little explosion over the weekend, and it was nice to see everybody contributing, just like the Lax team, especially Sierra Whitlock and Taylor Louisi, both at the top of the order. They each had 3 hits during the first game of the doubleheader, so you want to definitely see that on top of the order, them getting on base, because that's how you're starting off great innings, and you're gonna be scoring runs.
Yeah, also Giovanna Hillman she was 3 for 8, 1 home run, 6 RBIs, and now she has 8 home runs, which is second in the NA10. So obviously she's contributing, she's helping out the offense, and everybody's clicking right now.
Gotta love dingers.
Yep.
Yeah, it's been great what we've seen from Hillman. I don't know if they really expected that coming into the season, but it's been absolutely great, her production.
That's
Yeah.
true. And then it's talking about Hillman in the production. Do you think she has the potential to kind of help this team in their future, these next couple of games against some tough NE10 opponents?
Yeah, I think if she could keep up this powerhouse offense that she's putting up, I think really help them out.
Her confidence is up, so she probably think it doesn't matter who she faces, she's gonna keep dingering away.
Honestly, right now she is the power in the lineup,
Yeah.
literally. But so I really do think as long as she keeps this up, she will really help the Chargers offense.
Sounds good. Softball will host Adelphi at home on Wednesday starting at 2 p.m. Women's tennis beat St. Thomas Aquinas on Saturday, giving them a 9-9 record. Also, it's their most wins since 1997. Chris, what happened to this team this year?
Well, this team has taken a complete 180 turn from the previous seasons. They were 2-11 last season, and then the year before that they were 3-13. And obviously now they have 9 wins, so it's great success on the court, and it's really great.
I think there's been a little bit of a change in culture from Stephanie Gonzalez and Lilia Rodriguez, as those are the 2 freshmen that have came in from Puerto Rico. They've been stunning, and I think they really have changed this culture over to more of a winning culture.
Yeah, it's nice to see because they beat a D1 program the past week, Holy Cross. So that's great to see. As obviously we're a D2 school, so if you're beating D1s, that's definitely gonna, like we always say, boost confidence. So if you could beat a D1 school, you can beat anybody. And clearly they've more than doubled their, or they've essentially doubled their win total from the past 2 seasons this season. So the change is on and it's good.
Yeah, right now they're 3-1 in the spring season. And as you mentioned, Gonzalez and Rodriguez, they won their 5th consecutive doubles match. So they were obviously working together to get the win totals up. And then Gonzalez is also 3-1 in #1 singles. So she's facing the best player the team has to offer, and she's beating them. So it's obviously, like you said, a change in culture, and it's a great new horizon coming for the tennis team.
So, in talking about Gonzalez, she was also named the NE10 Rookie of the Year. So, what do you think that having the Rookie of the Year means for this tennis program growing, and then this going forward on next season and the seasons to come?
I think it shows that we're bringing in talent. We have the talent, and it could possibly bring in future recruits to build around this young core right now.
Let's get more W's.
I think you have to give a lot of credit to Hannah Still, the coach, for getting these 2 and hopefully now bringing in more and more and hopefully being NE10 competitors.
Very true. The women will look to continue their success on the road in Boston this weekend in their regular season finale against Simmons. Chargers baseball had a rough weekend, losing 2 games out of 3 to Lemoyne, with the last 2 games they going a combined 10-0. Devin, what happened in this series?
Like I always say, pitching, but this time not for our beloved Chargers. It was Lemoyne who pitched extremely well. They shut us down. I mean, we got no hit in the second game of the doubleheader, yesterday. Collectively, the team, the Chargers went 3 for 52. That's pretty bad. We don't want to see that. But, you know, they were ready to play yesterday. Kind of cold weather, not the most optimal baseball weather, so I feel that. I used to play, and I hated playing in the cold or rain. And all 3 of those hits were in the first game, so it's tough loss. But they'll bounce back. I mean, we know what they're capable of doing.
Yeah, as you said, they got shut out in both games, no hit in the second game. So if we look at the past successes the team this season, this is like, you could say it's like the lowest point of the season, but they've been so successful that it's kind of like a speed bump, basically. But so the best advice I would give to them is, I think Rocky Balboa said it best. It's not about how hard you hit, it's about how hard you can get hit and keep moving forward. That's how winning is done. So I think take what you learned from this, move on, and hopefully they drop 20 runs on a team next.
Yeah, I mean, we've seen they're really good at bouncing back. They don't have too many 2+ or 3+ losing streaks. They usually lose 1 or 2, and then they come right back and explode, and you completely forget about the loss.
Yeah.
The only thing that I have an issue with here is that Lemoyne's the only ranked team we've sort of played that's currently ranked right now. We played Southern New Hampshire earlier in the year that were ranked at the time, but they're not even receiving votes right now. So Lemoyne's the only team that we've played that are currently ranked, and we sort of struggled with them a little bit. So that's the one thing I'm fighting going into the NE10s and the NCAAs with them, but I think they could do it. I really do.
Yeah, I mean, it could have been a wake-up call for them.
Yeah.
I mean, they still got plenty of time left, and we'll see. We'll see them bounce back. I mean, they did have earlier in the week. They did have a nice 5-run ninth inning comeback against Southern, our rivals, and James Myers, who spearheaded that with who went 2 for 4, run scored, an RBI.
Yeah, there's a lot of negatives that happened this past weekend, but there are also a lot of positives. Also, like you said, early in the week they won, and then on Saturday they won against Lemoyne, and David Palmer went 8 in the third innings pitched, 9 strikeouts and 1 earned run. So he's still on the ball even when the team is not. He's still there. He's still reliable.
So, looking at these games against Lemoyne, like you said, Eric, they kind of struggled a little bit against its first really ranked team that they've played. What do you guys think that they can do to really kind of move past this and onto the rest of the season and into the NCAA play?
Just keep playing their game, because we've seen they bounce back from every loss they've had so far this season. I know there were 2 tough losses in the same day against a ranked opponent, so maybe that's a little troubling at first, but I think they'll relax a little bit, look back on it, and then they'll make their adjustments and go out and win.
Yeah, going back to that, one of the greatest teams of all time, the 2015 New York Mets, got no hit in that season and ended up making the World Series. So obviously you can't dwell on this. You have to keep moving. You have to learn from it, and you got to do what you got to do.
I think just keep pitching like they've been pitching with Palmer. Mestry's been great this year. Tim Kennedy, and that bullpen with Lamanna and Kroos. Just keep pitching the way you're pitching.
There we go. The Chargers will host Pace at Frank Vieira Field on Tuesday and Bridgeport on Thursday, both starting at 3:30 p.m. That's all for the Charge Up. Make sure to follow us on social media and tune in to the Charger Bulletin News on Fridays. For Devin Maida, Christy Geronimo, and Eric Nybro, I'm James Cassidy, and we'll see you next week on The Charge Up.